Good evening, YouTubers. We're back on the Honda Rancher. Today I wanted to go through the wiring that I did. I've already got it wired, everything mounted, so I figured I'd go through the wiring placement and any tips that I ran across or things that might have made it easier. Alright, let's hop into it. This is the Badlands 3500 winch from Harbor Freight. It's going to come with a contactor. So you can see I mounted up here. I actually used one of the screws that holds the actual steering bracket down in there, put one of the tabs there, and then I came over here and put a self-tapping screw into the actual frame, but yours may vary. Find the best location. First thing I did was tuck the wires. I figured out a wiring length from the actual winch, a routing that I knew would be secure and nicely neatly tucked. So I came down here from my actual winch. As you can see, they're color coded with tabs. You got a yellow wire, and then you got a blue wire, and each of them have actual color grommets of where the actual color of the wire goes. Make sure you put these boots, if yours comes with it, on the cable before attaching. Then I went to my local auto parts store. Got this slip-on cable protector here. It's plastic. It's just a plastic. As you can see, it's got a slit in it. You can slip it over it. But it's best to go ahead and put the cable in it prior to installing it. Makes life a lot easier. Then I came up off the winch, securely fastened here to the frame. Continued following the frame over, secured here, did a 90-degree sweep, came up here, re-secured here, and then I came up and attached blue one. And also on your contactor, the actual lock nuts have a color-coded grommet underneath it that allows you to know where you're actually going to connect it. So I brought my blue and yellow up here. Figured out a routing. Yellow goes over here. You'll see the color-coded terminal under it. Blue goes here. Then you got a hot and a ground. Your red and your positive. That actually runs back to your battery. So I pulled those off of here. Ran down underneath here. Tie wrapped here. Came in through with the existing cables to hold it secure. Tie wrapped there. Continue to loop down in here. Then came actually up under the gas tank right here. Secured right there. Came in behind the plastic holder for the tank. Followed it on around. Secured there. And you don't have to secure in the same spots as I do. Just find a place where you actually secure your cable and you have very minimal flex. I mean, you want it to flex some because this bike's going to twist and flex as you go over humps and bumps and jumps and whatever else you do with it. Continued on down the frame. Pretty much what you just want to do is follow your framing or any other cabling that you have. As you can see, all my other cabling from connectors runs through here. Ducked in here. Went back down underneath here, close to the air box of the main cable, down through here. Then I came back through here, came back up under my main cable, through here. Now I've actually got just my contactor sitting back here in the back, which I need to cover with electrical tape. That way it don't get grounded out on anything. I haven't done that yet. Bent the cable back around, connected up under to my battery, top post right there. I had to cut this out a little so it would actually fit flat across it. Black cable runs down through here underneath the battery and connects right over here to the negative terminal. And that's it as far as power and switch and wiring to go into your actual winch. Now let's come back over here. Now you actually got control wiring. what I did, because I like to keep things a little nice and neat and tidy, I get a little anal with wiring. I like everything to be nice and neat, 9-degree turns. You're going to have some cabling that come off for your switch. So what I did, the Badlands Harbor Freight winch comes with actual a plug-in remote standoff switch instead of the wireless. The 2500 comes with a wireless remote, which really don't work that great. It works good for about the first 3 or 4 months, or 4 or 5 times you have to use it, then it's toast. Battery dies, receiver goes bad, gets wet for whatever reason. So I went with the 3500, a little more power. The only difference is size. I'm saying a lot. Alright, so what I did is mounted the actual connector down here inside of my radiator, as you can see. Pull the top off, you plug in here. I just mount it with 2 self-tapping screws. I can slide you back in here. You're not really getting it. What I did with it, as you can see, came off the back of the switch here to the frame rail, ran up, tie wrapped up here. Just follow the frame, guys. Just follow your framework, and it goes up in here, and then my cables all bundle and tighten, and that's when I tied this group together. But I went to my local auto parts store, got the spade connectors and heat shrink tubing, cut my cables down to length. If not, because I'm seriously, guys, this cable that comes on the actual contactor for additional power inputs, that cable is like 15 feet long, no kidding. Cut everything down, recrimped, attached here. Then your actual rocker switch mounted up here on the handlebar. As you can see, that this is an aftermarket mount. As you can tell, screws are already rusting. I got it off of eBay. Just follow the existing cables. Comes off the back here, down, around, in with my other cables. Sorry for the shakiness. That runs right down in there. I got a loop that hangs down in here, so as you move your handlebars, as you can see, it has free play and it's not putting strain on my cable. So what you want to do is run it down in here and let it have a loop that comes back up, and then let it come back up into here. It's pretty straightforward once you cut them loose. Now with this aftermarket switch, I did have to reverse the polarity, so before you actually hook them up, just wire them in and test, because your in and out can be backwards. But with that, that's pretty straightforward, pretty simple, nothing too extravagant. Just take your time, pay attention to your color codes, routing, make sure nothing's pinched, and go enjoy your winch. Happy mudding, get stuck. One thing else I would like to mention though, mine is constantly live all the time, so you do not want to run it, because these winches have a significant current draw. So on these little bitty 4-wheeler batteries, it can't provide enough current to run it, so you want to have the engine running while you're using the winch. Because as you can hear right now, mine is actually off and my winch is live, but you don't want to do that much. As you can see, it dropped it out. We're going to hold this to pull it back in. I'm going to come up here, pull the end. Then we're going to come back out here and drop the hook. And also too, get you a stopper. This is actually just a generic that put in there that allows you from yanking this all the way in. Safety tips: always hold your strap. Don't try to hold this hook. Use tree savers and shackles. Don't try to wrap this cable around here. I'm going to go ahead and use the steel cable for a little while until I start to see frays or burrs. Then I'm going to switch it out to synthetic rope, which actually holds more poundage and a higher braking strength. So it's something you may want to check into, but for right now we're just going to go with what we got. and finish this build, hopefully for too long. We've got the graphics in, we've started putting graphics on. Front fender is done, just got to get it installed. Once I get everything done, I've already done ball joints. In the front here, new bearings, new ball joints, got this side squared away. I've got to do the other side. Still got a little ways to go. Just to give you a little sneak peek what the graphics are about. These are the XMR graphics. I went with a Biohazard theme, which is kind of a gray and black. Green and black. I don't know my colors today. But the graphics are pretty well. They're kind of difficult to install. Take your time with those as well. Soapy water is your friend. But we'll do a video on installing graphics here shortly and get this bad boy on the road. So please like, subscribe, and look for more content. Have a good day, guys.